Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode with iTrack. Huge shout out to all the iTrack fan, man, tapping in like you always do. And we are definitely on that Sunday flow. And what that generally means is that I got one brand new episode on the front end and one classic on the back for all the brand new subscribers, man. If you got nowhere to go, you're definitely welcome here. And if this is your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy videos from all across the world and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. If you haven't already, hey, smash that like button so you don't forget later on. Smash that subscribe button and join the iTrack fam. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Archaeologists in Peru have found a body that could be 5,000 years old. They think she could be an elite woman belonging to the ancient Caral civilization. That's one of the oldest civilizations in South America, which were around 3000 BC to 1800 BC. Her remains, which had been preserved, were found at the Aspero archaeological site north of the capital, Lima.
KFC is venturing into the future with plans to introduce 3D printed chicken nuggets. Partnering with a Russian bioprinting company, they're aiming to create lab-grown meat that mimics the real thing. But what does this mean for the future of our food? Let's explore. As technology reshapes our dining experiences, it's crucial to stay informed and make choices that align with our values and health. Stay curious, stay informed, and let's navigate this new food frontier together. Full episode on YouTube.
I definitely will pass up on a KFC if I find out that you're 3D printing your meat, man. Leave it alone. That last clip came from one of the iTrack fam, Jessica, who sent me that clip and said the fog was creeping in thick in her city. And I definitely thought it was interesting. So yeah, take a look at it and let me know what you think.
In an age lost to time, celestial beings known as the Anunnaki descended from the stars, not to enlighten us, but to control us. And in their secret laboratories, using forbidden knowledge and alien technology, they altered the genetic code of Earth's early hominids, creating us a new species. This is the full timeline, exposed, of the genetic experiments that made modern humanity. From failed prototypes to divine hybrids, from Adamu to Ziusudra, from slaves to kings. The truth has been buried in clay tablets, hidden by scholars and dismissed as myth. Until now.
Said those little things that are growing, that's a parasite.
Yeah.
So
the right frequency for destroying parasites was 1150. It says listen to parasite elimination frequency. This was like one of the guys, like you said, had the machine, looked into it.
Yeah, and you can set this thing. You can set any frequency you want on.
It's actually just disgusting, dude. It's like weird. It's like the embryo looks like Alien versus Predator head type of stuff, and I'm like, what the heck? So
that would scare you. You wake up and your mama's sitting there, and all of a sudden this alien breaks out of her chest. What you gonna do? He said, I thought Mama would had a tumor. That wasn't a tumor.
Let me share this with you. I've been pushed back by CIA for 3 things. And one of them was 2027. One of them was 2027. The other was the Nazi influence over the UFO research by CIA. That's one of them. Don't talk about the Nazis. The second is don't talk about military abductions at all because criminal activities have occurred. And you don't want to get embroiled in criminal activities, talking about criminal activities. Don't get involved in that. So Nazis, Mill Labs, and 2027. They're the 3 topics that CIA came back and said, we're very uncomfortable with this.
I got a question. NASA, okay? If we can supposedly have a rover on Mars, okay, that's roughly 34 million miles away, why do we not have a rover on the moon? The moon is 238,000 miles away. Why do we not have a lunar rover up there?
Remember, your soul isn't for sale. It's not content. It's not currency. It's a spark from the creator. You want to be in the digital world? Fine, but don't let it rewrite your worth. Don't let it hijack your rhythm. You are not a user. You are not a brand. You're a being. Act like it. And if you feel like you already lost yourself, take a breath. Trace your steps. God's not bound by bandwidth. He's still there, waiting.
From where I stand, all psychiatric disorders, all learning disabilities are digestive disorders. And that is the clinical experience of 20 years of work. And that is what's being confirmed now by the new explosion in science, in research in microbiome. That's the scientific name for gut flora. We called it gut flora for decades, and now the scientists started looking at it finally and called it microbiome. And they're discovering all sorts of things, all sorts of functions that our gut flora fulfills. So gut and psychology syndrome establishes a connection between the functioning of the digestive system and the functioning of the brain of the person, despite the fact that they're far away from each other. And our mainstream medicine doesn't understand this connection. As they give the person antidepressants and antipsychotic pills and anti-epileptic pills, where does the person put those pills in order to affect their brain? Into their stomach. They place it into their digestive system to affect the brain. And still our doctors don't understand the connection. How can the two things be so far apart and be connected? So what kind of conditions are we talking about? Let's start with children. Autism is the most severe disorder.
I've been doing a few deep dives on gut health and the effects of it on the mentality, and it is pretty wild, like very wild. I think more people should definitely look into it and research it, man.
English is a phonetically reversed Hebrew. They're calculated mathematically, the reversed language that is the reason why every major popular song, when it's reversed, there's actually a hidden meaning behind it symbolically.
So this is what I mean by, we know that that's his son, and mannerisms are everything. We understand characteristics and all, but nah, this is the studying of someone, and he's looking like a proud parent, which anyone would. I get it. But down to the swirling of the golf club, I mean, he has the best teacher, if you would. But this is a little more than just genetics. You know what I mean? This is the passing down of programming, if you would, allegedly. You know, the best way to market goodness for an adult would be to get them through their youth. And this is a little too much, if you ask me. I get it. There's nothing wrong with the power of influence over your child. Better yet, to be influenced by your father than anyone else, especially if it's in the line of good. But this comes from the early practice, even with Tiger. His father was in the military, and his father understood the strength of mind altering so that his child could be the best that there is to be. When you program the youth at a very tender young age, they become more, they're like sponges. It's easier for them to soak it in. So, you know, but this is their world. Their world is different from ours. You know, we have to make it in this moment of life by talent or being good at what we do. And sometimes they're programmed or their mind is altered. You have a young 2-year-old Tiger Woods here who's carrying a golf bag that's bigger than him. And as you can see, at an early age, he was probably told to eat, sleep, shit, and think golf. This is a programming. These are what you would call ritualistic tactics. The elites understand that, and to be a part of this. So the father knew exactly what he was doing.
But no, for real, it all starts with the parenting. So when you look at a child and how the child's behaving, acting, and everything, it comes down to, you know, the involvement of the parents or the lack thereof. So, you know, that's all facts.
Would hidden math be the secret to online privacy? Discover how social networks might already have built-in shields protecting your data.
Poor vision may predict dementia 12 years before diagnosis, according to a long-term study of over 8,600 healthy adults in England. Researchers found that people who later developed dementia performed worse on a visual test that measured how quickly they could detect a triangle among moving dots. This delay may reflect early changes in brain areas linked to vision, which can be affected before memory-related regions in diseases like Alzheimer's. Other early visual signs of dementia include problems with contrast sensitivity, color perception, especially in the blue-green spectrum, and difficulty controlling eye movements when faced with distractions. These visual changes may impair tasks like driving and face recognition, where people with dementia may scan faces inefficiently or not at all, making it harder to remember new individuals. Poor visual scanning may contribute to a sense of confusion or disconnection, often observed in people with dementia. Some studies suggest that deliberate eye movements, such as those made while reading or watching television, may improve memory, although results are mixed and may vary by handedness. People who read more and engage in visually stimulating tasks tend to have better memory and lower dementia risk, possibly due to increased education and cognitive reserve. Eye movement training is not widely used for memory treatment, and visual signs are not part of standard dementia diagnosis due to limited access to affordable eye tracking tools. Until that changes, visual tests and eye behavior may remain underused, despite their potential for early detection and intervention.
This is one hell of a strange glitch, if it even is a glitch. Watch this boy literally appear out of nowhere. It can't be put down to perspective because he'd have to be the Flash to step out from behind someone or something in a millisecond. I'd had to slow down the clip just so you can see just how fast he appears. Watch this.
Now that this case between Jay-Z and Diddy has been dismissed, do you think there are other cases that are going to
absolutely
come about?
I think everybody needs to be patient. I think everybody needs to wait. Anytime they're doing this much misdirection, anytime they got thumbnails on YouTube running round the clock with this much just like misdirection, and something else is happening. I wish I could say more. I'll just go ahead to stick around.
All right, file this one under what the freaking crap, or things they didn't teach us in history class works too. Meet Santiago, the small, strange mummy from Peru that's turning more heads than a UFO sighting at a NASA barbecue would. In all seriousness, he was found near the Nazca lines in Peru, tucked away in diatomaceous earth, preserved like a prehistoric time capsule, with 3 fingers, non-human proportions, and a skull that's, let's just say, not your average anatomy textbook size. Carbon dating puts him at over 1,000 years old. So if this is a hoax, it's been in the works since like the Middle Ages. CT scans, yes. Full skeleton, organs intact. No wires, no duct tape, no suspicious seams. Furthermore, DNA tests, no match to any known human or animal species on Earth, which is science speak for we don't know what the heck this is. He was even presented to Congress in Mexico, not exactly something that you would do with a papier-mâché art project. Now, whether this is proof of a lost species, ancient visitors, or something else entirely, well, that's up for debate, but it's hard to ignore. Tell me what your theory is. Alien? Ancient hybrid? Elaborate misdirection? Drop it in the comments. I'm curious what you think.
So the Antichrist has appeared, or what Muslims would call the Mahdi. A man has come out and said he is the Mahdi. And at first I thought this was a joke. But crazy thing is, this man is really gaining followers. Watch what he had to say about Christians.
Now, O Christians in the East and the West, hear me and obey. I am a messenger sent to you from Jesus Christ, alayhi salam. Paul is false and led you astray. The church is corrupt and no longer upholds the law of God, nor does it defend the oppressed. The papacy has been stolen and the rightful heir has been pushed aside. There is no one else but me that you are obliged to obey. May God be a witness that I have proclaimed.
Dude think he the new pope, dressed like a supervillain. He said Paul lied to you and led you astray. He said Jesus Christ sent him. All foolishness.
And we have the Muslims who've been waiting for 1,400 years for the coming of their Mahdi. And we're giving glad tidings on this day that the Mahdi has appeared. And we are the only people on the face of the earth that have the 12th Imam, Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, with us. And he's the one who sent me forward, and he sent Ahmad al-Hassan alayhi salam forward to proclaim and to give glad tidings and to pave the way and to preach the true religion of God, and that is the supremacy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So there you have a man claiming to be a savior for the Muslims, speaking English. He's either the real deal or he's counterfeit. And if he's counterfeit, Muslims, get your boy.
Those guns look like they can take down more than drones if you ask me. I mean, they look right out of that video game Doom, if you remember that game.
Apple might be the most satanic company, and let me tell you why. The first Mac, you know, the iMac, do you know how much it sold for? $666. That's 666. That's what it cost. You think that's just a fun number? No. Steve Jobs was exact with numbers. He picked that on purpose. Now look at the logo, a bitten apple. That's not just some design choice, that's the Bible, the fall of man. The moment sin entered the world, that's the symbol they went with. And then there's Siri. Say it backwards. Iris. What's your iris? Your eye. And what's the biggest symbol used in secret groups like the Illuminati? The one eye. Over and over again, same message. Now think, iPhone, that's not just internet phone, that's iPhone, E-Y-E. The eye is watching, always. So, let's put it together. You've got the number 666, you've got the apple with a bite, you've got the eye, the one eye, the iris, the iPhone, all connected. People think it's just cool tech. No, it's something else. It's a symbol, it's a system, and it's everywhere. And you carry it in your pocket.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
Skywatcher. I watched a video of theirs on YouTube. I mean, it'll blow your mind. It's these military dudes that are their own private organization now, developed this technology that they call the dog whistle. Anytime they turn on the dog whistle, a UAP shows up.
It's like a calling beacon.
They have different classes of UAPs, and this is a little chart. So there's the Tetra, which is class 1, the Tic Tac class 2, Blob class 3, Beam class 4, Manta Ray class 5, Bright Star class 6, Jellyfish class 7, Hornet class 8, and then Egg class 9. It's always daylight too. They never summon them at night.
Even scarier.
Yeah, because they can better observe during the day.
So if the government's able to do that, there's no way they're not like saying, let's trap one.
But that's not even the government. This is their own company.
That's what I'm saying, but like the government has this information.
Yeah.
They're definitely catching these things. Tricking or trapping or something.
I saw this, I'm like, how is no one's talking about this? This video, they're literally like, turn on the dog whistle, and they're like, yeah, there's class 1.
Dude, I do not want to see that in real life. Like, I'm way more okay with it being spooky than real.
It's so strange though that like this frequency, they said they have 100% success rate of it. As soon as they turn it on, they will see a UAP.
Yeah, it's not like we just shot in the dark and they just show up every once in a while. Like this is a literal communication system.
Yeah.
And the fact that they like to do it in the daytime instead of nighttime, it says a little bit more too, but why isn't this public knowledge, right? If you know something I don't, let me know.
Want to hear something really fascinating? Sure. Above the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid are 5 further chambers. And these chambers are roofed and floored with granite beams that weigh about 70 tons each. And there are hundreds of them. And these 70-ton granite beams, which to put in context, a 70-ton beam is equivalent in weight to 35 large SUVs. These 70-ton granite beams have been elevated to a height of more than 300 350 feet above the ground and carefully and precisely placed in position. It is very hard for archaeologists to explain how that was done using purely leverage and mechanical advantage. You can say, oh, perhaps they built a ramp and hauled the stones up the ramp. Then you have to confront basic laws of physics. You can't haul stone weighing tens of tons up a slope that exceeds 10 degrees. Then you start doing the calculation. How long a ramp do I need with a 10-degree slope to get to 350 feet above the ground? It had to be as massive as the pyramid itself.
This is breaking news. Science just showed how sound and vibration might just be able to reprogram your cells like software. So this is the science behind how a simple sound can shut down fat cell growth and rewrite over 140 genes in the process. In a groundbreaking new study, Japanese scientists exposed cells to pure sound waves that are audible to the human hearing range. And the results are shocking scientists around the world. So cells don't have ears to hear sound, but they can feel it through what's called mechanical transduction. So in this experiment, these sound waves sent a signal into the cell to stop the fat forming process. And this was just one of over 140 different gene expression changes. So this is part of a growing field of medicine called sonogenetics, where we use these sound waves to support conditions such as cancer, neurological conditions, and even stem cell therapies. So the key takeaway here is that while you're listening to music with your ears, your whole body might be listening as well. And that sound might be shaping your cells in ways that we're only beginning to understand. And to connect to what Nikola Tesla once said, if you want to find the secrets to the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Shannon, Monique, and Cat Williams both knew that there was information out there about Shannon Sharp, because what happens is that when you at those levels, you have what they call publicists. And those publicists have so much information, not only on their own clients, they get information on people that deal with their clients. Y'all don't hear what I'm talking about. Do y'all hear what I'm talking about out there? That's why Monique can say, leave those 20-some-year-old girls alone. Because their publicist has already put them up on game. We good?
Something you wasn't supposed to be doing?
Well, tell it.
And you're supposed to get your bag and get out the way. But it seems like I keep watching a rerun of people just making that same mistake. It's wild, man. Let me know what you think.
Well, like Jay-Z, people like P. Diddy, they have completely abandoned and sold their souls.
There's frequencies or physics to how they do that. So there's another source that is on the dark side that needs to exist. And they go, I'll give you anything that you need in the physical realm. Because they know that the physical realm is inconsequential compared to your timeless self. And then like P. Diddy goes, yeah, okay, we'll do it. And then those people, what they have to do, because they feel that they literally are dying on the inside. Because literally their essence, their presence of who they are, it's getting sucked out. So the deep state or the darker people, individuals who want to control, they need literally your soul to survive because they're sucking the life out of you.
We are not here to repeat the past. We are here to remember the codes that shape reality itself. The ancients called them the 7 Hermetic Principles. Not rules, but living laws, the blueprint beneath creation. And when you activate them, you don't just understand the world, you become the architect of it. Mentalism, all is mind. Your thoughts aren't just ideas. They're the canvas on which reality appears. What you believe, you create. Correspondence, as above, so below. Your inner world mirrors your outer life. Change the patterns within and the world shifts to meet you. Vibration, everything moves, everything vibrates. You are frequency, tuning to the song of the universe. Raise your resonance and you rise above limitation. Polarity, every truth has its shadow. Growth isn't about choosing sides. It's about finding the balance where wholeness lives. Rhythm, all things rise and fall, ebb and flow. When you learn to ride the rhythm, you stop resisting and start dancing with life itself. Cause and effect, nothing is random. You are not at the mercy of fate. Every choice, every thought is a seed planted in the field of tomorrow. Gender, creation is the union of opposites, masculine and feminine, intention and surrender. When these energies meet in harmony, new realities are born. These are not just teachings, they are the living DNA of the universe. When you live by these codes, you move from fragmentation to wholeness. You stop surviving, you start creating. The 7 Hermetic principles are not outside of you. They are you awakened, and when you remember, you become the source of your own reality.
Yeah, the music business plays this Jedi mind trick on you. If you get success and you have leverage, they'll get out of your way because you're making them a lot of money. But the minute you're not making them as much money, then they step in and they start playing these Jedi mind tricks on you. The whole thing's set up to take advantage of your weakness. Our first contract was 7 albums, essentially 14 years. At 23 years old, I'm signing a contract that's supposed to take me into 37. If you actually survive the cut, let's call it phase 1. You're successful, you're a name, and now you're in a place to either renegotiate or your deal is up or whatever. I once had a conversation with a very powerful music executive and I said, give me the insider psychology here. What do you tell people like me when they get here? And he says, oh, it's just, there's always a price. So they know that even if you get through the matrix of the whole thing and get out the other side, that there's just a dollar amount that will buy you back in. They don't want true independence. Then the deals that the record labels cut with the streaming services, they got into ownership equity deals with the streaming services. In an arrangement for them to have an equity position, they agreed to very low rates for the artist's music. So the labels pimped out their own artist to take a greater equity position in a rising business.
It's a dangerous thing to discover your purpose. Because when you discover your purpose, you're going to become an irritation to people. You are going to upset people, and also, when you discover your purpose, you are going to declare your independence, because you are not going to allow other people to dictate to you and tell you what to do, because you've discovered now your purpose. And when you discover your purpose, food will become a stumbling block, sleep will become a hindrance. And thank God, I said this very humbly, when I discovered God's purpose, I am more active now than I was about 20 years ago. Because purpose prolongs life. It produces quality life. Only God will decide when, where, and how. So my life's in God's hands.
People are saying Katy Perry's newest tour is one of the worst concerts they've ever experienced. As you can tell from this clip, not only is the dancing so bad, but the choreography is also so laughably bad that it feels like she spent more time in space than in the rehearsal room. I mean, seriously, what is this? With people saying this is what they feel like the Australian breakdancer would be doing if she had her own concert. When it comes down to it, I think she's just trying to have her Taylor Swift moment, but she's not Taylor Swift, and I don't think she could ever imitate that, and when she does, it just looks terrible. But that's my opinion. If any more news comes out about this after I post, you can find it in my story.
You ever been into the underground tunnels?
All the time.
What do you mean? You've been in there?
All the time.
A lot of people don't know that there's cities under Las Vegas.
All of Las Vegas is built above an underground city.
There's people down there.
A lot of people.
Lots of them.
Lots of people.
There's like commerce going on.
Yeah, they have.
I hear there's also child getting popped through there left and right.
I've never heard of, been privy to, or seen child in the underground city in Las Vegas.
And it's pitch black. How would you see it?
I'll have the flashlight the whole time, and as I'm walking, you can see, like in the distance, they're just straight shot tunnels mostly. You can see, like, 200 feet away is a dwelling. And so as I'm approaching, I go, hey, is anybody over there? Are you hungry? I brought food. And if they go, yeah, I'm hungry, then I know it's safe to approach.
What are you bringing?
I'll bring any type of fast food, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, like cases of water, stuff like that.
Why do you do it? Just because?
Yeah, I just want to help. I have the means to give back. Like, why would I not?
Wow, I didn't know that. I'm not even sure. Is that really true? I want to do that. I'm gonna actually go down there. You give me some Chick-fil-A, that would be great. I love the Chick-fil-A sandwiches. I heard they put magnesium in them and all kinds of horrible ass shit. But bro, I know you're a big shot gambler, okay? I didn't know who you were the first time I actually commented on you, but I know you're super successful. And obviously, Brad, we know each other. Brad, you're a beast. Send me some cigars. Let's go, baby.
I have a friend.
It's like you have a personality of a cockroach where you see it, but if you get upset, it's many more coming. So just get used to it.
Get used to it, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? When the bomb drops, the only thing that lands is the cockroach. It's still here.
No matter what, you kill
No matter
one
what,
and we still coming.
Still coming. We still coming. I'm a cockroach. I'm a rat. I'm a dog. I'm a jaguar. Right.
Have you ever had a dream so real it didn't feel like it was yours? Like it was almost planted there? Well, some say that's exactly how it starts. You see, there's a theory whispered in late night forums, one that even some former intelligence agents talk about off the record. Not about abductions, not experiments, but something stranger. They're called the Watchers. They don't take you, they don't speak, they don't even make contact. They observe in silence for years, decades even sometimes. You don't notice them until the patterns start to show. People report dreams that repeat, but always slightly different. They wake up in their own bed, but the mirror is different. Their room is the same, but something is off. Allegedly, one of the oldest texts to mention the Watchers is a Sumerian scroll locked away in a private collection. It describes a symbol that was carved into 3 known abduction sites. That's what we'll explore in part 2. If you've had a dream that didn't feel like it was yours, you're not alone. Comment below, let's compare notes, and follow, because this rabbit hole, it's just opening up.
Poor Katy Perry, her tour is going viral right now for all the wrong reasons. Now, I don't know if this is a budget issue, if this is a creativity issue. Like, why is she fighting a heating tube right now? Maybe this is a cash grab for Katy Perry because it looks like she rehearsed this like one time. I mean, look at some of this choreography. It is an absolute mess. And I think this is a great example of how some artists are just not really connecting with their audiences like they used to. She's desperately trying to, but look at her like skipping over these people. Like, what? I need to go and watch some Eras Tour clip after this because this is just like too bad. And it makes me feel bad for all the Katy Perry fans out there who are spending money to go on this tour. Granted, I don't know how much longer the tour is going to be continuing for. Like I said, this tour might not be lasting too long because she's just not selling the tickets that she needs to continue. Especially with Beyonce starting her tour next week, the competition is going to get fierce. Maybe if Katy put her heart and soul into this project, it would be doing better, but she partnered with Dr. Luke, and to promote the album, she went to space, which nobody cared for. There's a few reasons why I believe this is a cash grab for Katy Perry and her record label because the dancing is not too great. I mean, better than what I could do. But like, look at the artwork that we're using here, which she's not fighting heating tubes. She's using AI artwork, which takes away from a lot of people who are trying to work in the industry and really frowned against. So I don't know why she's deciding to do this. It just comes off lazy. But what do you guys think in the comments below?
I mean, yeah, I was just saying that, these, A+ celebrities, they're not really visual to their fans. We don't see them. We don't know, what they have going on. That's why you do see some of the newer generation of artists, team up with all the streamers now, right? They got to get visual. We got to see what you got going on, or we're not really interested. He has to get it together or consider retiring really early.
Anybody tell me what's been going on lately, cause I mean, is they just taking ideas and thoughts straight out your mind, or is it something in the atmosphere connected to these phones and devices? Cause I can be thinking about something 2 days ago, yesterday, or maybe even a week before, and I ain't say it out loud or nothing, you know what I'm saying? I ain't type it in the search engine, I wasn't looking it up on my phone, I wasn't talking to nobody about it, and I'd be scrolling on my timeline, and stuff I ain't seen in forever that I was recently only just thinking about, it'll just pop up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And I know it ain't just me. Is it just me? Am I tripping? Or what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just can't, it can't just be happening to me, man. I'm just saying, can somebody, anybody tell me, is it just me? Am I tripping or what? Let me know something. I'm just saying, I can't be the only one. I can't be.
I think the main issue is he isn't the only one. There's a lot of people that feel the same way, including me. I've definitely experienced situations where it's like, if I wasn't having a conversation about it maybe like 2-3 days ago, even if I was just thinking about it, man, it'll pop up somewhere. And at this point, I just acknowledge it and realize there's something going on. Let me know what you think, though.
Check this shit out. When you talk about the word X-Men, the X represents Photo 51. Photo 51 was a picture taken in 1951 by Rosalind Franklin and Raymond Gosling that provided the picture that allowed the structure of DNA to be, discovered. The same year Photo 51 was taken was the year that Henrietta Lacks transitioned, and her cervix was taken from her, unknowingly to her and her family, by a doctor, because she was the first cell they were able to document that was a mortal cell line. And an immortalized cell line is a group of cells that can continue to replicate infinitely. So all the biology books, mitochondria, cells, blood that you know to this day, that you studied in school, has everything to do with the studies of these HeLa cells, Henrietta Lacks cells, that they got in 1951. Check this shit out. When you talk about
In the mysterious realm of lightning storms, strange plasma balls have puzzled scientists for centuries. But what if these plasma orbs are more than just natural phenomena? What if they're information probes from parallel universes? With the advent of quantum computing, we've unknowingly alerted advanced civilizations in parallel universes to our presence. These civilizations are sending more probes. In one astonishing incident, airplane pilots on Eastern Airlines flight EA539 reported a plasma ball inside their plane, passing through without a trace. Could these probes be scouting our universe, gathering data, cause spatial disturbances? As we delve deeper into quantum computing, are we tearing holes in the fabric of the universe, inviting unknown entities into our realm? What may come through in reality? The answers may be as electrifying as the phenomena themselves.
Do you fear death at all?
No, I have absolutely no fear of death. I never have, actually, since my near-death experience.
What do you think happens?
What I think happens, it's like I have no absolute belief in heaven or hell. I think we just progress into a new form of what we are. And I think the real surprise what heaven and hell is, I've given a lot of thought to this. If when you're dead, you find out that all the people you lived and interacted with are all part of you, the reason that would be a good thing is because if we as entities learn by experience, there's no way of knowing if the experience is valid or not if all we're getting is our perception of it. The only way you can know if experience was valid and had something beneficial generated by it would be if we were not only the person in the experience, but all persons in the experience. In other words, we would have to have every perspective of all the people we care about that we're part of in that experience.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have that same sentiment as well. But that's the funny thing about life, is that it's full of variety, right? Everybody has their own opinions, their own view of things. So I wonder if that carries over once you carry over, right? Once you pass away. That's pretty wild. Let me know what you think, though.
Show you an alien in real life, bro. And everyone that's watching this can do it right now. I need you to go to your bathroom, stand in front of your sink. Most people have a mirror there. I'm gonna teach you a way to see the aliens that's gonna blow your mind away. Flick the light on and just look into the mirror and you're gonna see the alien. We are the aliens if you believe in God. If you believe in God, we, human beings, are the aliens. We are not the ones that originated on this earth. The story of creation, Adam and Eve, peace be upon them, they were cast down from the heavens when they fell into temptation. So we're the aliens, Danny. I got a news flash for you. You're an alien, bro. Welcome, man.
Thanks, man. Happy to be here.
I'm sure you come with a Christian upbringing. You've heard the story of Adam and Eve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did it say? We fell from the Garden of Eden, yeah? Right. Okay. So you're the alien, Danny.
Yeah, but wouldn't every being from another place be an alien to you? So we are aliens to, if there's another civilization out there, we would be alien to them the same way they're aliens to us. So we're all aliens in that sense, right?
Absolutely. Alien means something foreign or not understood.
Right.
And that concept, I agree with when people say that there's aliens and we're going to see them. Yes. But I'm going to use the Abrahamic perspective on this. We know.
I started taking testosterone, which I never thought ignorantly, I thought, I'm not trying to grow hair on my chest. Like, you know.
Do you notice a difference with it?
I do.
Me too.
My libido's back.
Yeah, I know.
And I have more energy.
I found it again. I found my libido.
Right? Isn't it good when you find that
it's
again?
It's really good. It was MIA for a little while.
Now, is that Holly Berry sending smoke signals? Letting us know she got her libido back? All right, Holly.
Believe that this one church in Ethiopia actually possesses the Ark of the Covenant, and that these priests that are supposedly guarding this, they all exhibit signs of radiation poisoning.
Yes, they go blind, they die quickly, and then somebody else, and one priest at a time is allowed to be like the caretaker of the Ark. And
how long do they live?
They want to say like a couple years, something like that. I can't remember.
Really?
It's been not very long, yeah.
What the heck? I got chills. What is that? What the heck? I got chills. What is that?
Do you see that? Oh!
I mean, I just want to know why it was so pixelated. I know that's pretty recent, so I know the camera had to be good. So somebody might be playing games, or somebody's playing games.
This, I thought, okay, this is a bear. And then I was like, no, that's a dog. And I was like, certainly not Bigfoot. I have no idea what this is. And who sent this in is reliable. So what do you think this is? I mean, this is scary, for one. I really hope you guys haven't seen this one yet, because this one is just crazy. I mean, what do you think of this? We literally got what looks like a Bigfoot just pillaging for these, I don't know, blueberries or whatever he's looking for. It's absolutely crazy if this is legitimate. If anybody, I found this as unknown. But see it run away right there? Let me slow that down as it runs. This is crazy. What do you guys think? Did you see it? Well, if you didn't, you're in the same boat as me, but check this out. Look at that. What is that? That is creepy. That is like an entity, dark, just staring at this boy, I think 12 or 13. But this is absolutely creepy.
Apparently, if you keep yourself to yourself and try not bother people, it actually bothers people.
Now there goes a priceless fact if I've ever heard one.
Stargate, so put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it.
In this project, we talked about how Trump was connected to Tesla. He's connected to some books that were written in the late 1800s by Ingersoll Lockwood, how that he actually predicted the world trade, a thing going on in 9/11, how it's interesting that he was the 45th president, which 5 plus 4 equals 9. He's also the 47th president, which 4 plus 7 equals 11. Many people believe he was actually John Teeter on Coast to Coast. What I think is the most interesting part of all of this is the AI in ancient Sumerian terms. In ancient Sumerian, this is the A, and it means water, watercourse, canal, seminal fluid, offspring, father, tears, flood. And in the reference that I have here, it is in reference to the demons trapped and within the Absu. This is the abyss. In the scriptures and in other books, they talk about this fluid and this, I guess, flow of energy that comes from the deep.
In Genesis chapter 1 and verse 2, it says, darkness was upon the face of the deep. And there are scholars that believe, and I would agree with this, that deep is actually an entity. The Bible talks about the deep calling unto deep, and this would be associated with the Tome and with Tiamat in the Babylonian rituals.
It says to go out, emerge, to send forth, to lead, to bring out, to rise, to sprout, or to become visible, to appear as a witness. The first mentions of a stargate of sorts is Babylon, which Babylon means, according to most etymologists, means the gate of the gods. Bab-Elon could come from the word babu, which is a Sumerian term, which means portal. Elon, which is another word, Elon or Ilon, is another word for God.
The degree to which a person can grow is directly proportional to the amount of truth that they can accept about themselves without running away.
Message.
Get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just remind myself, this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win. This is what hard feels like, and this is why most people can't do it, but you can.
UFOs are real and aliens are real, but they're not from outer space, and that's according to the top 2 UFO researchers after decades-long research.
Where do they
It's
think
up
they're
there in
from
time.
if they're not from outer space?
They're interdimensional and potentially fallen angels, disguising themselves because they're liars of something, like you said, can't be proven or disproven. I'm from this galaxy 300 light years away.
This is kind of what Tucker Carlson thinks. He thinks there's a spiritual element to it. He thinks they've always been here, and he thinks that this is what's kind of documented in the Bible as like good and evil. And
That's it, exactly. That's what's going on. I mean, the top 2 UFO researchers said UFOs are real, number 1. Number 2, they're not from outer space. And number 3, they're demonic. And that's what I talk about, where it talks about fallen angels interbreeding with humans. It's talked about in Genesis 6, and creating a race called Nephilim, who were men of renown, world leaders.
Okay, guys, I got a mind blower for you. You ready? If you take a seed any seed that you're getting ready to plant, and you put it in your mouth and you cover it with your saliva, did you know that that plant will read your DNA and what it's deficient in, and it will add that to the plant that's growing, doesn't matter what kind of plant it is, and that plant will give you everything that your body is deficient in. Yeah, mind blower.
Now that's deep. You definitely got to do your homework on that. But it sounds interesting though.
You won't believe this, but an amateur pilot stumbled upon an unexplainable place in the mountains of Tibet, a discovery that has shocked the entire world. While flying over the Tibetan mountains, he noticed a strange bunker that wasn't marked on any maps. As it turned out, no one had ever known about this bunker, and it had remained untouched by humans. After the pilot shared the footage with the public, scientists immediately took an interest. They sent a team to investigate the mysterious bunker. The researchers managed to descend into its shafts, which stretched deep underground and branched out like a labyrinth. After 5 hours of exploration, they found something so extraordinary that it forced them to halt their investigation and classify all their findings. However, the discovery quickly leaked online, and what you're seeing on your screens is undeniable proof that someone or something existed before us. But where did these artifacts come from? Who left them there? What do you think this could be, and why is it hidden in such a remote place?
I think whoever left it there either left it there to be found, or they left it there so they can come back and find it themselves. One or the other, but let me know what you think though.
About to show you the scariest thing I've ever seen on the internet. On March 6, 2023, a Reddit user posted this disturbing photo. As you can see, it's just a photo of his kitchen late at night. It doesn't seem like it would be that disturbing. The user claims that for the last couple years, he's been hearing strange, unexplainable noises coming from his kitchen late at night. And then one night, he takes a photo of his kitchen from his living room. The photo captures this, and I know you're like, what am I even looking at? This is the photo itself, but let's zoom in on that dark corner. And then let's enhance it. We're overexposing it now. Who is that? The user has no idea who this could be and believes that this is the thing that's responsible for the noises and that it might be paranormal. Because that is clearly a man. Then you can kind of see the outline here. If you compare him to the fridge, he's really tall and he has no eye. But it gets scarier. A few days later, he left his camera recording overnight in the spot that he saw the figure before, like in the kitchen. And this is what he caught. So clearly that is like a figure moving in the dark, but look what happens when you up the exposure. It looks to be the same thing that was taken in this photo. So is this a squatter hiding in the apartment, or is this something more sinister? Let me know what you think and come over here for longer scary videos.
Have been on Earth for 80 years, according to this serious new documentary that premiered at South by Southwest. Look, I'm not a tinfoil hat kind of guy, but this story definitely caught my eye. On March 9th, a new documentary called The Age of Disclosure premiered at the South by Southwest Film Festival in Austin. And this isn't some janky, speculative History Channel schlock. Director Dan Farah interviewed 34 military, intelligence, and government officials for the film, as well as Secretary of State Marco Rubio and New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. According to The Guardian, the movie's revelations elicited audible gasps from the audience at South by. A number of the interviewees in the movie say they are directly aware of alien life existing on Earth right now, and that intelligent non-humans have been traveling to Earth since the 1940s to spy on our technology. Officials in the film also say that the government's withholding of this information is a serious security threat. One whistleblower, Luis Elizondo, calls it the most successful disinformation campaign in the history of the U.S. government. Jay Stratton, a former Defense Intelligence Agency official and director of the government's government's UAP task force, says in the movie, "I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings." The movie's director told Yahoo, "This is the biggest story there is. What's a bigger story than an 80-year-old cover-up of the existence of non-human intelligent life and revealing there's a secret Cold War race among nations to reverse engineer technology of non-human origin."
What is a body farm and why did you go to a body farm?
There are now 12 in America. There was only one when I went there in Tennessee. There's one in Canada, there's one in Australia, and they're just starting up one in the Netherlands, but not quite like the others. And this one was set up by Bill Bass, who was an anthropologist, and the police used to go to him and say, "Tell us how long this person has been dead." And he said to them, "Look, I can't, until I've got some evidence, I just don't know." So he said, "If you give me some land and I can put bodies on it and watch them, I might be able to help." And that's what happened. And they gave him about an acre. And basically they lay the bodies out in all sorts of conditions and they just see what happens. What flies come in, what fungi come in, how long does it take for someone with this medication to rot? What fabrics rot? They put them in water, tanks of water. Is it different in water? They might stick one in a car. How long does it take for it to decompose in a car? Is it different in a car from outside? They bury some. I mean, they try everything and then they watch what happens.
Now that makes so much sense because I was always so curious about how did they come up with those kind of estimations of time of death and things like that. So clearly they've been doing their homework and for a long time.
If you are going to sign with a label, make sure you have leverage.
Yeah, don't go looking down at them. Don't go in there looking up. Because you go looking up, they're going to know it and you're going to get fucked.
One thing that somebody told me a long time ago as well, too, is they said if the president isn't in the label meeting, when you go in the first meeting within 20 minutes, get up out of there.
Yeah, walk away.
Walk away.
Because it hasn't gotten to the top yet.
It hasn't gotten to the top.
No, and they don't care.
Trust me, they do not care.
And if they don't care, it's like,
they care when there's momentum, when it's super hot. So I always do consult artists just when you're gonna enter the situations. Be sure that you know you're going to be taken care of. Who are those people in the building?
Yeah.
Like, do you know somebody in there, right? And is that because also, as we know, like, I mean, a lot of people got let go, but also it's a revolving door.
Yeah.
These people are moving jobs 2 years. I was island and the president changed 3 times within 3 years, bro.
It's but also like your people change. Like it's really like it's a tough.
That's a tough one.
It's a tough one, bro. Because like it's like when your person walks out that building, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And it's good luck.
100%. It's good luck.
Yeah.
If you're not
tapped in.
If you're not tapped in, or if your artist isn't crushing it.
Yeah.
Right? Or if you're the artist and you're not crushing it.
It's really like good luck.
And you can make that apply to any area of your life. You definitely don't want to be too thirsty to be doing anything, right? Because you're probably getting the bad end of the deal.
The stunning amount of money NASA's stranded astronauts are thought to receive after 9 months in space has been revealed.
And splashdown, Crew 9 back on Earth.
NASA is expected to compensate the astronauts for their extended stay in space. However, former NASA astronaut Katie Coleman stated, "For me, it was around $4 a day." She told the Washingtonian that astronauts only receive their basic salary without overtime benefits for incidentals, a small amount they are legally obligated to pay you. Coleman received approximately $636 in incidental pay for her 159-day mission between 2010 and 2011. Williams and Wilmore could earn little more than $1,000 in incidental cash on top of their basic salary, based on those figures. However, assuming a 12-month salary of up to $162,672, the astronauts could receive basic pay of $93,850 to $122,004 for the 9 months spent in space.
Sunny Williams, big smile, big waves. She, like her other crew members, now will be assisted onto the mobility aid.
There we have it, some waves, some thumbs up, and some smiles.
They get their regular salary, no overtime, and NASA takes care of transportation, lodging, and food, the Washingtonian reports. What would you do for $4 a day trapped in space?
Once again, some elation and cheers there from Butch Wilmore.
I mean, it's confirmed. The government is cutting billions for NASA, for Elon's projects, and you can't even pay for any overtime? I mean, that's how I know none of this is real. How you going to risk life and limb and not even pay me what I'm worth or what you think my life is worth for going out and putting that kind of work in? That's pretty wild. Let me know what you think.
She lives in the Appalachian Mountains, and her trail camera captured a video that began her terrifying encounters. And even though many viewers doubted authenticity of her videos, she kept posting more updates for over 3 years, and things escalated in ways no one expected, going completely viral and making viewers rethink their opinion about Mandy. Few days after the first video was uploaded, she recorded the figure again. And when she looked closer, it resembled a woman in a robe. It was most likely the same entity that had made those eerie sounds before. Then, 24 days later, her son's bedroom camera caught movement behind a window, and a pale face appeared on the second floor where no one should be. And it kept staring at him for more than 3 minutes, constantly trying to open the locked window before suddenly disappearing. But it didn't stop there. Ever since this started, she streams her backyard live sometimes, looking for answers. And after a year break, it returned, lurking for a couple of minutes, trying to get inside. And it took her weeks to find a possible reason for why this was happening.
They create chaos, and they create control.
Over the world headquarters in Switzerland of the World Masonic Headquarters for World Freemasonry, over the door is Ordo ab Chao, which is Latin for order out of chaos. And all Freemasons know that term, Ordo ab Chao. Order out of chaos. The concept is to create chaos, to create the problems. Then while the people are frightened to death of all the crime and everything that seems to be out of control, a riotous situation, the government then moves in with justification. In order to put down this terrible chaos, they must have full power of the military, full obedience of the people to give the government full power to do whatever they want. That's why we're having all over the world wars, riots, bloodshed, famines, all kinds of things happening around the world. It's being manipulated. It's being orchestrated, not just for Los Angeles.
It's conflict control.
Conflict control.
There's been more wars since the creation of the United Nations.
So here's Butch and Sunita. You notice how she's got her beautiful gray hair coming in? You notice how Butch has stubble? Yeah. And look, they're coming back, being greeted. Return home after major delay. Look, Sunita got her roots done in space. Look, Butch cut his hair in space. Interesting, huh? Isn't it interesting that you could be in space for 9 months and your gray hairs are gone? And then your stubble, we just showed in the last frame, is now gone. They're trimming their fucking hair on the Space Center, and no wonder they couldn't get back, because they got hairs in the drains, in the clogs. You know what I mean? Anyways, it's all a big fucking show. Enjoy the ride, kids. There you have it.
Planes don't fly that close. Look. Oh my God. What the What is it doing?
Look,
I can't.
I'm recording it.
I can't do it.
They're flying around. There's 2 lines now.
Oh, it's flying around it. It's flying around it.
There's 2 lines now.
It's so many of them.
My heart is beating.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let me get out for it.
My heart coming out my chest right now, bro. Look, my heart coming out my chest right now.
Y'all, I got real alien activity going on. They circling that it came out of the ocean. That is not a moon and it is not a sun. It's 10 o'clock at night. I seen it come out of the ocean, y'all. There are fucking ships. I don't know what the fuck these are. They're flying around it. They're circling it. There's one above it. There's one on each side of it. There's one right there. There's one right there. Y'all can't see them. I don't know if y'all see them blinking. Do you see them? Okay, they're going towards that. We seen it come out of the fucking sea. We seen the...
Another wave of those things coming out of the ocean, man. Keep your eyes peeled.
Something they're not telling us that is so gnarly that they don't think people can handle it.
There are,
different scenarios you could explore. For example, you ask, what could be so terrible that they can't tell us about it? Let's say these aliens, wherever they're from, made us, that we're a genetic experiment, that they created our religions, our religious figures, that we are an agricultural product, that somehow they harvest us, that our time is limited, that once the experiment's over, poof, we go away. I remember when there was a push back to have a designer universe, intelligent design universe in the schools, and I wrote a column about it, just said, hey, be careful what you wish for, because you might find out that the intelligent designer isn't God that you're thinking of. It might be some alien science project or something like that. You can imagine a lot of different things that would be really disturbing to people to come out. I don't know if that's the reason for the secrecy.
Allegedly, the mummified remains of a leprechaun was found. It was allegedly found somewhere near Karangafuka, which is like this creepy, haunted, abandoned, square, ruined remains of a castle. And this place is definitely creepy and already really known for paranormal activity. But it's said that the remains were then sent to some horror movie prop person so that they could like add on to it, which makes me suspicious like about this in general. While I'm not fully convinced by that like mummified body, I do think it's really interesting that European Habitats Directive in Ireland recognizes leprechauns as a protected species. So many people with so many different stories that I'm just like, they have to be seeing something at least. And a huge person that took place in preserving these was a guy by the name of Kevin Woods. He is known as the Leprechaun Whisperer. He believes that there are 236 still living leprechauns that live in the woods out in Ireland. They exist in like a spiritual plane. So there's only certain people that actually have access to them, kind of like ghosts and mediums.
My job really is to make sure that they survive as a species.
He's local to this place that allegedly has like verified leprechaun bones. This pub owner by the name of PJ O'Hare actually found them whenever he was out and about in the woods and he was hearing what sounded like a leprechaun. And now these bones are just like there for people to look at the pub, I guess. Now annually there's this leprechaun hunt where people will actually search for golden coins in the hills over there. But another case that also stands out to me, there's this town that has like these fairy mounds and Celtic structures that are said to be cursed if anyone messes with them. There's been so many warnings against just disturbing these sites because workers have actually come in and done stuff to the areas. Bad things have happened. And things that have happened to like disturb these sites include one of the construction workers actually went to go remove a fairy ring, which if you guys don't know, it's like a ring of mushrooms. The machinery malfunctioned. Like it wouldn't bulldoze over the mushrooms. Workers also reported seeing shadowy figures at the site and hearing voices. In the late 90s, another construction worker went over there because he was supposed to take down a hawthorn tree, which in some legends can be considered to be a fairy portal. I guess leprechauns fall under the fairy category. This man was a farmer, and within the year, all of his livestock apparently just passed. And shortly after, he even fell ill and died. In 2011, a team of archaeologists went out there to go excavate a digging site. Days into the dig, one of the workers became violently ill with no medical explanation. Another one of the members kept claiming he felt like he was being choked. Eventually, this dig site was just abandoned. Obviously, these things can be coincidences, and then whenever you put them all together, it looks suspicious. The locals in this town really believe that this is like a leprechaun fairy curse. Whether it's superstition or not, definitely weird. Sounds like you should just be leaving the rocks and the fairy forts alone out there. What do you guys think? Are leprechauns real, or is this just a superstition? I believe so badly, and I so want to believe that there was one in Mobile.
All the iTrack fam tapping in from Ireland, I'm going to need your help with this one. Let me know if you've ever seen a leprechaun. Is it a real thing, or is this folklore? Let me know what's going on, because this is actually pretty interesting.
I really think that we're towards the end of time. I don't think humanity, I know this sounds crazy to people, but I think that based on the signs of the end of the world in Christianity and Islam's very specific, by the way. Some of the signs in Islam, when buildings touch the sky in the Arab world, he said, the day will come where the pagan Arabs, like that, but the Arabs will like make buildings that touch the sky. And as soon as they build one, they'll build another, and they'll compete with each other. Now Saudi Arabia is building the biggest building on earth, and they're going to boast about it. He said this 1400 years ago. He said the day will come when dishes communicate. They're going to talk to each other and families will be torn apart. The word he used back then is the word that the Arabs use today for satellite television, bro. Dishes will talk. He said they're going to hang up mats on their walls. Like you have this TV, it looks like he's like, they're going to hang them up. And he used his hands. He made like a rectangle. They're going to put them on the wall and it's going to destroy their souls because all you see under this filth, Danny. These are his words, bro. You read these prophecies, they're amazing, man. He said men will become women, women will become men. He said that you just got to go study the signs of the end of the world and Christianity and Islam. It'll blow your mind away.
How do you think we went down this path, though? Do you think there at some point there was a fork in the road where we could have gone down another path?
Following desire, Danny. What I was trying to say earlier is that why did God make the angels bow to humanity? Because when a human being, out of their own free will, chooses to submit their desires to follow the Creator, they are higher than the angel. Because the angel cannot sin. That's why the devil was not a fallen angel. The devil had free will. When a human being acts according to the gift that God gave them, which is intelligence, they are higher than all of creation. When a human being only acts upon desire, eating, drinking, soccer, not all there is to life, man. Eating, right? Tony Montana said in the restaurant. Is this all there is to life, huh? Eating, drinking. I can't even have a little kill with her, man. I got a zombie for a wife. We become zombies, bro, because all we do is follow our desire. Eat, drink, but no one else, nothing else. We become lower than the animals because animals act like that. Animals they don't have intellect. They only have instinct and desire. They eat, drink, that's all, and it's scary. They call us consumers, cattle. When a human being only follows their desires, they are lower than the animals.
If money motivates you, then you're going to have that demon. If fame and reputation motivates you, then that demon is going to seize you by the throat and going to make you work 18 hours until everybody eats your dust and you humiliate all your enemies and you're miserable, right? So knowing who you are and knowing what matters is going to save you from that kind of demonic possession, because you're actually not going to be very successful if you're like that. You're going to burn yourself out. You're not going to have very good ideas. What happens to a lot of people when they become successful is, first of all, it goes to their head. They think they have the Midas touch. They think they've got, the golden touch. And then their minds start going in this kind of this singular direction. They learned how to do something and they're just doing it. And they don't know how to learn. They don't know that there's other ways of doing things, right? And that's what happens when you become completely possessed. And your mind isn't open and it isn't free and isn't expanding and you're not creative anymore.
Man, he wasn't lying. You definitely have to have balance, because if not, it'll show up in how you're living your life, man, and you won't be happy. And if you are, it won't be for long.
You need to see this, because the shit I'm about to show you is about to scare the hell out of you. So in Daytona, there has been reports, sightings of UAP, people saying they hear strange noises at night, and there has even been power outages. So they're saying that the U.S. military spotted a gigantic ship underwater. And allegedly, this ship that they spotted, it wasn't something that we made. And in that same area, you have some people saying that they've seen something. As a matter of fact, look at this shit. It's nighttime. And that's not the sun. Look at that. Look at that. It's crazy. That's crazy. That's not the sun, and that's not the moon either.
My heart coming out my chest right now, bro.
The voices in that video clearly stated that that's not the sun or the moon. So what is that shining that bright? Now, I don't know if y'all remember last week, the lady that says she speaks to extraterrestrial people said that last week we were supposed to see a mothership and nobody seen it. And everybody doubted her. Could this be that mothership? Could this be the two motherships that she said we would see? Whatever that is, that's not normal. I'm out.
The only thing I could think of is, because Trump came out and said it wasn't any of our adversaries. It wasn't anybody that was in opposition to the U.S. So, I mean, it has to be some kind of foreign entity, Who knows? But if you know something I don't, let me know.
There's some serious shit going down off the coast of Florida right now, and you're probably going to see a lot of videos over the next couple of days about what's happening. There's a group of whistleblowers, some claiming to be military personnel and sailors, going all around on X, Telegram, and even Reddit right now, talking about how the US Navy, and this is according to them, apparently discovered a huge ship that's underwater off the coast of Florida, somewhere near Daytona Beach. Apparently, whatever this thing is, has sent numerous pulses of energy out and apparently knocked out power to a couple of the ships. This is all being reported by them, by the way. And apparently this thing is appearing on radar and then disappearing off of radar. I mean, there's some crazy shit going down. And now there's objects being seen off the coast of Daytona Beach. Numerous objects, might I mention, that seem as if they're coming out of the water and then flaring out into the sky that look literally as bright as the sun. I've seen these same exact objects appear in the sky over the Gulf of Mexico throughout the last couple of months now. I have no idea what they are, sometimes being chased by what looks to be military helicopters and what looks to be even fighter jets. And that just adds to all the rumors that have been coming out about some mothership appearing out there as well. Now apparently this has been occurring over the course of the last couple of days now, so I went to TikTok and I looked it up, and lo and behold, what do you know? There's actual videos of them appearing over the water, some literally flaring as bright as the sun. I have no idea what these objects could be, but I've seen literally about 200 of them since January. Every single time I try to post a video of them, my videos are always suppressed. So if you live in or anywhere around Daytona Beach, I need you to go outside, I need you to look in the sky and see if you see any of these objects, because I need an explanation real quick.
Color priming is the most underestimated manipulation tactic ever. Colors directly affect our subconscious and thereby influence our decisions, behavior, and even thoughts. Here's how to use it. This is day 17 of infiltrating thoughts. In sales, use red and orange for immediate action and blue for trust. To gain power and status, use black for authority and purple for exclusivity. Green builds trust and calmness, while yellow captures attention. If you want someone to think more logically and study better, use blue. To make someone more aggressive and push them into quick decisions, use red. White conveys innocence and credibility, and now it gets deeper. Dark gray and black evoke feelings of uncertainty and fear, useful for asserting dominance. Cold blue and white create an emotionally distant atmosphere, ideal for making someone feel unsettled.
These gems right here are to help you stay on point.
So I'm going to show you the new map of the United States of America. And you may not be able to see this very well. We have 50 states in the United States, but this is mega regions. Mega regions. Mega regions. Mega, large. Mega regions. These are the city-states. These are large cities that are being made larger. Now remember I told you that the gray area is the wildlands. That's going to be the area that no one will have access to. And you know, I haven't told you anything about myself. I was a legal witness, an expert witness in land use and land valuation for my government, for the State Department of Transportation. Expert witness, testified in court. And I found out about this because I saw that people were not being able to use their land. And I looked behind that and I found Agenda 21. This is true. Okay, the federal government of the United States is doing this, is in process of creating mega regions, which are essentially crossing national boundaries. This is Cascadia. It used to be a portion of Washington State, Oregon State, Idaho, and Vancouver area, British Columbia in Canada. The Southern California and Texas Triangle areas include part of Mexico. This breaks national boundaries, it breaks state boundaries, it breaks county boundaries. It's also a project of the Ford Foundation and the Rockefeller Foundation. Regionalization and world government. You use trade agreements to destroy boundaries, and you actually cannot make local law that breaks those treaties.
Massive changes in state lottery laws following the CIA's investigation into the $30 million winner.
This is Stephen Mandel, and in 1992, he won $30 million from the Virginia State Lottery. But here's the crazy part. This was his 14th time winning the lottery, and he was guaranteed to win that jackpot before he ever bought a single ticket. His strategy was so simple, it's actually absurd. The Virginia State Lottery used a mechanical lottery draw with 44 numbered balls in this machine right here, of which 6 are drawn at random. To win that year's $27 million jackpot, all you have to do is guess those 6 numbers correctly. The only problem is that there are 7 million possible combinations when you have a pool of 44 numbers. But Mandel noticed something that somehow nobody else did. Since the cost of one lottery entry was only $1, he figured out that he could just buy all 7 million tickets for a total cost of $7 million, which would guarantee with 100% certainty that he should win the $27 million jackpot. His plan worked perfectly, and he walked away with the 27 mil plus 6 secondary prizes and 132 third prizes for a grand total of $30 million in winnings. Of course, the government noticed, and Mandel was investigated by literally every 3-letter agency in the country. But it turns out what he did was actually 100% legal, and he was cleared of all wrongdoing.
30,000 and 27 million, big difference. Big difference. But big shout out to all the people that like to work smarter and not harder. I mean, all he did was just buy all the tickets, and that guaranteed him a retirement. You know, that's what's up. I'm a big fan of that. Shout out to him.
The state government is about to launch a new form of digital ID that means you'll never have to hand over your personal details to anyone again. It will all be stored in the Service New South Wales app on your phone, which will prove you are who you say you are.
Scanning his licence, passport and Medicare card, in less than 3 minutes, the minister proves he really is Victor Dominello.
This is unquestionably the Holy Grail.
This is your first look at the state's new digital ID.
This is a huge step forward in giving back people control over their data, control over their identity.
Personal credentials will be stored on your device. No IDs need to be handed over. And that means keeping your address and birth date to yourself. If you need to hire a car, rent a property, set up a bank account, check into a hotel, or prove you're over 18 to buy alcohol or attend an event.
But how can it trust you are who you say you are? Well, you'll need to take a selfie, which will be cross-checked against other forms of ID you've submitted, and when there's a match, you're good to go.
The technology will be opt-in and should be available later this year.
The first art form to master is simply being here and now with what is happening. Trusting that what is happening for a reason. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. So if you are willing to accept that whatever part of the process is happening for the purpose of putting you in touch with more of yourself, so that you can expand and get that reflection back from reality of your expansion, then you will be excited about anything the process has to show you. It will actually be experienced as a piece of performance art. And by getting into it and diving into it and being the performance artist and the art piece itself, then you will allow it to move very rapidly through you, to process very rapidly, because you're willing to accept everything that's happening as necessary, as a part of the piece, as a part of the art, as something to look at, as something to investigate, as something that will increase your understanding of who and what you are as a co-creator.
Their revenue from something else. Grocery stores don't really make as much profit as you think. Their margins are as thin as 1 to 3%. Which means if you spend $100 at a grocery store, they're going to end up making $1 to $3 at most out of the 100. Considering the tremendous amount of capital it takes to run a grocery store, it's almost impossible for companies to survive on such low profit margins. But they already know that. That's why grocery stores are not in the food business. In fact, they're in the real estate business. Let's first establish how the typical grocery store layout works. One of the common grocery store layouts is the grid. Your retail fixtures are arranged in long rows. They're also typically placed at right angles throughout your store, making it easier for customers to get a preview of what's in the aisle without having to go through it. From the width of the passages to the shelves dimensions, every square inch of the store is utilized to its fullest capacity. The grid layout also uses the loop concept, meaning the flow coming from the entrance should never cross paths with customers exiting, making the whole shopping experience an actual loop where the customer is guided in and out of the store seamlessly. But one could argue, all of these design strategies are present in many commercial establishments, not just grocery stores. So where does the trickery actually begin? The manipulation starts the second you step inside the store. The first thing most
behind this card there is an animal. I really want you to see if you can tune into all your intuitive senses to see if you could pick up what's behind this card. So behind this card there's an animal, there's a word describing what the animal is, there's also some colors and a shape. The way the answer may come in for you is you may get a visual in your mind, you may hear what the answer is, or you may just have a clear knowing. So what we're going to do right now is a short breathing exercise just to bring you into the present moment and really expand that awareness out, okay? You ready? So close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Open up your eyes, okay? And remember to trust what you receive. Trust however it came in for you, whatever it is, okay? You ready? It is a bear. Were you able to pick up any letters, the colors, the animal, maybe the shape? Let me know how you did.
Why was I so positive that it was a cat? I legit was thinking like, man, this has to be a cat on the other side of that card, right? It's crazy. Let me know what you got. Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books, man. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. Smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button. Join the iTrack fam, man. Let's keep tracking and figuring out what's going on out here in this crazy world. I will definitely catch you on the next one.